Hi, my name's Alex. You probably already know that. I'd like to talk to you about two very important Web 2.0 websites. On one hand, we have MySpace, and on the other, we have SoundCloud. But before we get there, it's important to know what exactly is Web 2.0. It's a common misconception that Web 2.0 was the effect of a technological shift, but in actual fact, it was a shift in thinking from the end user, such as myself, that forced software developers to create a more flexible API, that is, application programming interface, that would allow users such as myself to edit and create information online. Before Web 2.0 evolved, the closest thing you had to a MySpace or Facebook page would probably be an account with GeoCities. But in comparison, these had a lot less space for storage, looked fairly static, and were incredibly difficult to update, as you had to learn fairly complicated HTML code. As previously mentioned, Web 2.0 was based on the principle that the end user had a need to read and write online. This meant that websites such as Encyclopedia Britannica would soon be replaced by websites such as Wikipedia, where a user could upload their own information, have it reviewed by other users, and get feedback. It meant that websites such as oPhoto would be replaced by Flickr. Publishing became participating, and those directories soon became tagging. The most significant timestamp in Web 2.0's history is arguably August of 2003, the birth of MySpace. The key players in MySpace can be boiled down to two people. Firstly, there's Tom Anderson, that creepy guy from Facebook. And secondly, there's Chris DeWolf. Mr. Anderson has a bit of history at Berkeley University, but has also been a hacker since the 80s to mid-80s under the name of Lord Flathead. Whilst in university, Mr. Anderson made money through means of spyware and spam money-making ventures. He was also involved in a porn website called Team Asian, which now directs to Great Date, if you're interested. Tom Anderson met Chris DeWolf at a product trial. At the time, Mr. DeWolf was head of sales and marketing of the company, and when he noticed that Tom was in student debt, he offered him a job. DeWolf and Anderson created an internet firm called ResponseBase. The two decided to sell this company for a few $1 million to a bigger company called eUniverse. They then decided to join that company. DeWolf and Anderson decided that their next venture would be in social networking. They had a look at a website called Friendster, found out which points were most popular, and then remarketed the same plan, but using the resources of the parent company, eUniverse. Because MySpace had more resources than Friendster, Friendster was outmarketed by MySpace, and on August of 2006, the 100 millionth account on MySpace was created. Undoubtedly, much of MySpace's success can be accredited to the user's ability to customize their own page. This includes changing the mood, posting and editing blogs, commenting on photos, you've got backgrounds, music, and a lot of other cool stuff. Most importantly, however, is the ability to embed songs from a MySpace music page onto a MySpace profile. What this means is, when a user views a MySpace profile, they can see music playing, but they can also buy the songs on iTunes, link back to the artist's page, look at tour dates, merchandise, and other important stuff for the musician. Having 100 million users on MySpace all sharing their favourite tracks is an excellent way to share music and get the word around about new and upcoming artists. The hype of MySpace, however, was not to last forever. On April 19th of 2008, Facebook, MySpace's closest competitor, overtook MySpace in terms of percentage of internet users who visit the site. Also, in the last 2 years, percentage of people who visit the site on MySpace has gone from 6% down to nearly 2%. I believe the reason for MySpace's decline was due to unsocial social networking. MySpace operates in a very isolated sense. Although users are free to communicate with others, MySpace does not encourage communication with other social networking sites. Such an isolating constraint acted as an open door for other social networking sites to gain popularity over MySpace. In my opinion, this is how SoundCloud came to rise to popularity. SoundCloud was launched just a few years after MySpace with the simple intention of letting artists share music with one another. A fairly simple idea, but if you think about it, at the time there was no platform for artists to do this. There was Vimeo for videos, Flickr for photos, but no platform for sound. SoundCloud was created by two Swedish guys called Alex Yuan and Eric Walfors. Now, because these names are incredibly hard to pronounce, I'm going to refer to them as Alex and Eric. Alex was a web designer and entrepreneur, and Eric was a musician. Co-founders and now CEO and CTO of SoundCloud, Alex and Eric, made SoundCloud with the intention that it would be simple collaboration, just sending tracks to other people, getting some feedback from them, and having a conversation about music. Since then, it's expanded to publishers, producers, venues, and anyone in the music industry as a hub where they can all interact and communicate with one another. SoundCloud, however, did not have a parent company in the way MySpace had eUniverse to finance the venture. However, it did receive a €2.5 million investment from Doherty Hanson Technology Ventures later on in 2009. No doubt a lot of this money would have gone into providing storage for SoundCloud's users, as it provides up to 2 hours of unlimited actual data space for artists to upload music. Alex from SoundCloud argues it's much easier to measure in megabytes, but it doesn't make any sense for the user. They call it beats per minute for a reason. As soon as the SoundCloud team moved to Berlin, they made the smart decision of programming a new API that would allow users to embed the SoundCloud player virtually anywhere on the internet. This new API was absolutely vital for SoundCloud to socially network with social networks such as Delicious, WordPress, Twitter, email, Blogger, and even MySpace. The ability of SoundCloud's API doesn't stop there. The SoundCloud player is fully functional on handheld devices such as the iPhone and Android devices such as the Sony Ericsson Xperia. Most remarkable of all, however, is how SoundCloud managed to integrate the API of the SoundCloud player into PreSonus's new digital audio workstation known as the Studio One. This means that users of such a DAW, of which hopefully we'll see more in the future, can record music and upload it directly to SoundCloud's player and anywhere on the internet. So where does this lead us? The end users who are continuing to rely on ever-evolving web of more sophisticated, better networked applications. With the process of creating music becoming more easy, and the standard of audio becoming increasingly variable, I feel that music industry giants such as iTunes and MySpace will have to one day draw an official line between music regarded as professional and music regarded as recreational. It's plausible to say that recreational music may one day have to apply for a certificate of professionalism through media giants such as the Hype Machine. Of course, networks such as the Hype Machine could base popularity of an artist on how many likes, loves, or hates an artist or a track has. Social networking is becoming better linked, sharing is becoming easier, and websites that refuse to allow external traffic are losing their place on everyone's favorite page. I believe that Web 2.0 pages such as SoundCloud will become critical in the success of next generation artists. Success will be deeper measured in an online sense, and credibility will be further reliant on statistical data provided by such services. The next step for online music platforms such as SoundCloud will be registering the success of a track without the users even knowing about it, what I call liking without clicking, whereby the audio player registers how frequently you listen to a song, for how long you listen to it, and from where you're listening to it. We could be making pop hits without even having to acknowledge the program's existence.